Unified Diagnostic Services, read data by Identifier, service ID 0x22. So read data by Identifier service is a service used to read the data from the ECU with the help of predefined signals or variables which are present as part of the ECU, which can be accessed through a unique ID that is called as data record. And with the help of the data record, you can access the data, or the variable which you want to see in the diagnostic tester. So these data records are called as data identifiers, DIDs, and the DID has two types of DIDs which are defined in the ECU. The definition of DID is like this, that it's a parameter, data identifier represent a signal value or a data, which could be a single signal value or a data, or a number of collection of signals or data. That means it could be like a array structure where you can get in one request you can get n number of data from the ECU server to diagnostic tester. So there are two types here. One is the predefined DIDs. So during the development of any particular ECU, we will have n number of signals already defined as part of some legislation requirement like OBD2 like that, or there are n number of signal which could be manufacturer specific or supplier specific. Those signals are defined and those signals are given with some names, and they will be individually addressed, or they will be collectively addressed within a packet where a number of signals clubbed together and forms a data record. So these predefined DIDs, you cannot change the position of each of these IDs when it forms a collection of records. So say for example, data record 0, if I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correspond to some specific signal within the ECU. So with the help of predefined DID, you can just ask for signal 2, and it gives the value of this particular signal to the diagnostic tester. So as you are aware, this diagnostic tester used in the service stations, and in service station, if a problem occurs in the vehicle, then the technician might be interested in looking at different type of signal which are relevant to that particular problem. In that case, what we do is the other type of dynamically defined DID is used. With the help of DID, we can define one n number of data records, and we can read those data records, and these are data which you might form with the help of diagnostic tester, and those data can be read back in the ECU, the diagnostic tester. So for example, these are the examples which is part of the OBD2 request, where every signal is given with the X value. So when I ask for a value of 5, then I'll get the engine coolant temperature value in the diagnostic tester. But with the help of DID, I can club the XPID 5, 46, and 62 and 50. I form one data dynamically data identifier. Then the data identifier is set during the current ignition cycle. And with the help of the service 22, if I start reading this newly defined dynamically defined data identifier, then I should be in a position to read those signal back in the diagnostic tester which are relevant to that particular situation. If you happen to work on engine management system, then the DIDs are very much important, where especially on the OBD2 case or vehicle manufacturer specific case, you will have at least 200, 300 signals defined as part of dynamically data identifier, and with the help of data identifier, but with the help of dynamically data identifier, you can mix and match those signals and read back with the help of diagnostic test. So the request message for data identifier is the service ID is 22, and the data identifier has a 2-byte value ranging from 00 to FFFF, that means FFFF, and you can ask for n number of data identifier in one single request. So that is 1 to n number of data requests that you can ask. So the response will be 62 with the DID number and followed by those data records and followed by DID2 and those data records. The negative responses in this particular service, the possible NRCs are could be incorrect message length or invalid format, or the response is too long, conditions not correct, request out of frame, and in some reason the security access denied also given as a negative response. This is an example of reading the win number using DID service, data identifier service. The 0xF190, this is a predefined DND as part of the OBD2 definition, data definition. So by reading that 0xF190 with the help of 22 service, so the request is like 0x22 followed by 0xF1 and 0x90. And the response message what you see is for 22 you get a response, positive response of 62, followed by the data identifier number, and followed by these many number of bytes for the given request, which is nothing but the VIN data, vehicle identification number. So the vehicle identification number, if you look at each digit as unique meaning, and these are given here. So we will look at this VIN data in a separate session. But with the help of data identifier, we should be in a position to read this data from the ECU, and these are predefined data identifiers. In this case, previously we have access to only one data identifier. In this case, if you look at, there are two DIDs, 0x010A, and the next DID is 0x0110. So with the help of 22, we send these two DIDs as a request to the ECU, and the response is like this. So we get a 62010A, 62010A as a positive response, followed by this many data bytes, and you have the DID second 0110 and followed by the particular parameter, data parameter is given here. So once this data is available, then with the help of diagnostic tester, we should be in a position to visualize these signals. So in summary, data identifier, read data by identifier is a method where we can access the real-time data snapshots from the ECU, and we can read those values in the diagnostic tester. The signals are referenced with the unique number called DID. These are two types of DIDs, predefined DIDs and dynamically defined DIDs. Predefined DIDs, in which only the particular number and the associated data record can be accessed. Whereas with the help of dynamically defined DIDs, you can set up, form a group of signals. With the help of that particular dynamically defined DID, we can read back the required number of, that's all we have for the session. Hope your time is well invested in this session, and looking forward to meet you in the next session. Bye.